Global mobility in its traditional sense is a function that facilitates cross-border move covering compliance and relocation. I think with the times, global mobility now is really about making sure you have the right people at the right time, at the right role. So if you need to grow your business in one of the markets that you are focused on, how do you bring that talent over? What are the considerations that you have?
Global mobility to me is the heart of the business enabler. Mobility function enable business to put people where they need to be, when they need to be, for the people that has the skill set the business needs. So without the mobility function, small or large, international versus domestic, it really doesn't matter. But it's without that function, the business really wouldn't succeed.
Where it is required to transfer one employee or a group of employees to another country, global mobility would be the main team responsible for providing the right expertise and insights to this project in order to make sure that it is actually successful and that it is compliant, which is very important. So whenever we have this type of projects, global mobility is definitely a strategic partner in the sense that we need to provide the right information.
Strategically looking over a couple of aspects in terms of growing the talent, in terms of mobilizing people. So we still need to have global mobility partners that is there, that are always up to date. It's not something that technology can help us do, unfortunately, which is good for me. But we still need these partners in different locations to support us on that.
To an employee, taking a global assignment allows them to gain a unique experience, learning about a new culture, living in a new culture, potentially learning new languages or a new language. It provides an experience for their family that they might not have otherwise been able to have. It allows them to add value to their personal and professional development, as well as add value to the company and facilitate exchange of knowledge and ideas across borders, which will only help the business reach their business goals. And having a global assignment, having global assignees really is the backbone of having a successful global company.
The main element of the function is really building the relationship. Whether these are internal within the organization, so every mobility professional has that not only ability, but almost a need to build a proper relationship in order to make the global mobility program effective, but also building the relationship outside of their own function, because we know how mobility professionals, how we tend to work with multiple vendors, across multiple jurisdictions. So building the external network through the vendor partnerships, but also a professional organization is absolutely crucial. So I would say relationship.
So I wouldn't say there will be, but there already is. Younger generations don't really want to work with one employer for like 5 years in order to go somewhere. They rather want to be recognized right away. They want to develop right away. Obviously, international assignments, this is a great way of getting an international experience, expanding the knowledge, taking some or acquiring some expertise from the colleagues who work abroad. So I think that this will be a trend that the employers will need to do something about. They will need to react in some way and introduce new policies, adjust their criteria. I know from my GM colleagues that in some organizations there was a specific criteria that needed to be met in order to qualify for, I turned on my mail by accident, but I'm just turning it off. I've heard from my GM colleagues that there are organizations who introduce some kind of list of criteria that needs to be met in order to qualify for going on assignment. And I think that nowadays the companies will need to review such criteria, and the tenure with the company will not be one of them anymore.
A mystery. I think that people don't really understand what global mobility is. We hear different terms, we hear acronyms in the public, but it's unless you have somebody that has some knowledge of it and they sit down with somebody in the public that they don't really understand what it is, because it does have so many kind of layers to it that I don't think it's a clear understanding for most people in the public. I usually have to really explain what it is that I do.
To the employees, I think that they see global mobility as their partner in supporting them to move to their host location. So about 2 years back, I remember that I was working with one of the executives and his family to move them over to Singapore. So we actually forged a great friendship along the way. And I would say that when the family first came to Singapore, I even met up with them to bring them for a little tour. And that friendship does stay even till today when the family has gone back to their home location.
I think at the end of the day, mobility, we are not only supporting our employees and their families, but we're also supporting the business. And with that, we must ensure that we are keeping ourselves, our programs, our policies fully up to date, ensure that our programs are competitive. The search for talent is one that can be very difficult, and the mobility function has a way in which we can further the efforts of our talent acquisition teams and of various hiring managers to obtain the best talent based upon the programs and policies that we have set up.